Hello, people of the internet. It is your boy Kishiwishi, and today we are going to be talking about the video game crash that's currently happening. You know, the video game crash of 1983. Right now, Wishi's trying to get in the frame. Wishi, camera, come look at Wishi down here. Wishi, look at the camera. Look at the camera, baby. Wishi, look at, look at the camera, nigga. If you're probably wondering, oh, why am I standing up? Yeah, your boy injured their tailbone from streaming. So, I'm one of the first streamers to get an injury from sitting on my fucking ass. I'm not even joking. Like, I was playing GTA on stream a couple days ago back on Sunday. I was playing Roblox and GTA, and then I was sitting so weirdly on the chair. And when I went to bed, it hurt a little bit, but I was just like, okay, it's probably because I was sitting on my ass for hours. Because like once I finished the stream, we kept we kept playing the game. Mm. But it's getting better. At least I can walk around now. I can actually like lift my legs up. But I kid you not, I don't even know if the microphone can pick me up. It looks like it can. But literally doing this, simply doing this. Okay, it still hurts. It hurts a little bit, but simply. All right. I still need to take it slow. But simply sitting down on the bed like that and laying down on my back took about 5 minutes yesterday. Sophia could attest to that, but she's not home right now. She's at work. I was supposed to be at work right now, by the way, 3 to 11. The time right now is currently, see, I'm on bullshit. It's 8:35. So at this time, I literally should be at work. But yesterday when I went in, I know this is if you guys want to just hear me talk about a video game crash, click to this point in the video. Essentially, yesterday I drove my ass to work with the condition I was in. Painful most of the drive there. Like my back was hurting, trying to reset itself as I'm driving. I sat down in front of the computer, talked to my manager. He was like, "Oh, you're good? Did you get the clock in?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Okay, give me 1 second." And he came back and was like, "Yeah, bro, you can't really do shit. Take your ass home." By the way, this is your first week here. You've been here for 5 days, and you're already doing this shit. Like you're already calling out now. You're not fired though. So your niggas on thin ice. But hey, maybe this YouTube shit goes off. I won't really care, but I still got to be responsible adult. I'm off for the next 2 days as per the schedule, Wednesday, Thursday. So let's just make some content while I'm at home. I could just be laying down, but I figured if I can walk around and actually like slowly, and when I say slowly bend down and touch the floor, I should be making some content. So yeah. Anyways, back to the video. Sorry for the very long introduction. Oh, exactly 3 minutes. That's great. So for those of you who don't know, and I'm pretty sure there's a good portion of you guys who don't know this, I only know this very, very like trivial fact of the gaming industry because growing up in the 2010s, I was such a big nerd, and I'm saying was like I'm not still a big nerd when it comes to all things game media. I learned about the crash of 1983. So for this part of the video, I'm just gonna go into a brief summary of it. I might even I'm afraid to sit down, guys. Let me try to sit down because sitting down is what got me in all this pain, by the way. So.
Wow, incredible!
All right, seems good. I gotta lean forward. Right now, you can't tell, but I'm sitting in the chair like a bad bitch. You see that? So much space, so much space. Because if I lean back too far, I might fuck it up again. Let me take this shit off. Yes, I'm not bald. Y'all can see my hair. So the video game crash of 1983. The video game crash of 1983 was basically when a bunch of using this term game developers because it's kind of a repeat of what's happening today. A bunch of game developers were just making complete and utter dog shit. 1983 video game landfills. Not even gonna look up the crash, the landfills. So you can see they're like, you've heard of shovelware, right? Which is just like a bunch of games on a disc that's kind of dog shit, but you have like 500 of them on one singular like cartridge. So this is basically where it came from. So what the fuck? So there were millions of landfills That just straight up old video game. Like look at this shit. Do y'all recognize anything right here? Like there's nothing recognizable. Nothing. To bring it into perspective of today, one of the only video game companies that existed back then that still makes consoles today is Nintendo. Let that sink in. Before Xbox and Sony PlayStation, there were hella companies that were making consoles, and I bet not a single one of you not Gen Z. Let me give y'all some credit because I'm part of Gen Z. But Gen Alpha, I know y'all niggas, the oldest console you guys know about is probably the GameCube. The GameCube might be the oldest console, despite the fact that it's from the PS2 generation, and there's things that are like Nintendo 64 era, like Sega Genesis, though. No, basically before the 2000s, it literally the video game war, the console war. The console war was between Nintendo and Sega. If you look at Sega today, they just make Sonic and maybe some. Okay, let me not just. Sega does make other games than Sonic, but Sonic Team. Sega, like, come on, bro. It's Sonic. Sonic's the biggest IP from Sega that's keeping them afloat. Obviously, there's other games that I can't name off the top of my head, and someone's gonna be mad in the comments that I can't. Fuck you, nigga. In 1983, the video game crash happened, and it was basically, I already mentioned it before, a bunch of companies were just pushing out dog shit games that nobody played and nobody cared about. What is happening today? What's happening today? The only difference between 1983 and the year 2026, well, this has been happening for quite some while, but the only difference is that the companies back then were making the games to make money in a cheap way by just making a bunch of stuff, bunch of product. So back then people couldn't complain about variety. The only problem was that the variety was all shit. Now come to today. Naughty Dog has not released a game since The Last of Us. It is 2026. Last of Us Part 2 came out in like what, 2020, 2019, 2020? It's been 6 years and we still haven't gotten a game. And not only that, how long it takes games to be made nowadays, it's also the price. So the video game crash, in my opinion, that I think is happening in the year 2026 is not really like video game crash as a whole, because there's still games. Back in 1983, like, bro, you don't understand. The game crash of 1983 was so bad. Atari, Crickets, Concorde. No, not that one. Not that one. No, the Concorde, or not Concorde, the Commodore. Yeah, Commodore 64. Philips. Oh, you mean the niggas that make TVs, right? No. Philips had a console too, the CDI. Oh God, let me not even get into the CDI. Nintendo did their fuck ups too, but the thing is, Nintendo was the one that fixed everything, which is funny to say because of what's been happening recently, especially with the whole Pal World situation, how an indie or double A developer made a better Pokemon game than you. And I'm sorry, despite me being a big ass Pokemon fan, like I literally have a drawing. Actually, let me show off my drawing skills a little bit. Like I was/am such a big Pokemon fan that I literally did this back in I think freshman year of high school. I drew this. Like, yeah, I actually drew this. Yep. Yeah. So that goes to show how much I like Pokemon, right, guys? Freely. But yeah, Nintendo, back in the 80s, they were the ones that kind of helped save the video game industry. Because remember, 1983, a lot of big video games that we know about up until the modern day happened after that, like Super Mario. Well, I think Super Mario was 19. Wait, let's actually see when Super Mario came out. Because in my head, I'm thinking about The Legend of Zelda, which came out in 1986, 3 years after the video game crash. So, first Mario game, 1985. Look at that. Well, yeah, we know arcade's 1981, but like all of the modern games that we have with characters that are span generations, and I'm not talking about PlayStation, because PlayStation and Xbox, they're new gen. Nintendo is old gen and a literal relic of the past. So for them to be going this strong and arguably be making better decisions, which we're going to get into later on in the video, is crazy. Because Nintendo, back in the 1980s, when people gave up on video games, they're like, oh, they're all just producing dog shit and landfill filler. They decided, you know what, we're going to marry two different things together, which is why video games for the longest time, up until recently, were more a child-friendly thing. If we can't convince these niggas to spend money on a tiny computer to play games with, how about we bring them in with toys? You know, children like toys. The little kiddies like to play with their action figures and their Barbie dolls. So why don't we pivot it like that? So back in, I don't know when, just know, I'm not even gonna look it up. Just know sometime in the 80s, Rob, you remember Rob from Smash Bros. Or like the Mario Kart 7 on the DS? I hope I said that right. Damn. Mario Kart 7 was on the 3DS. I am so old. It's Mario Kart DS. I don't even think Rob was in Mario Kart DS. Yes, he was. I am so old. I am so sorry. Jesus Christ. I'm saying this at the age of 24. Damn, I'm 24. And I'm probably going to be doing this shit when I'm 35. But anyways, yeah, they tricked people into buying their console by buying a toy. Rob on the Famicom or the NES, whatever, that shit had so many different names. But the original Nintendo Entertainment System, the thing that brought people back into buying consoles, had this little robot thing on top. That was just, I don't know what it did. I'm not from the 80s. We'll skip past there. Now in the modern day, Sony PlayStation and Microsoft Xbox, since I said Sony PlayStation, whatever, they have been doing things that don't in particularly make sense when it comes to making something for the consumer to actually buy. And it's kind of the same thing you see happening in the movie industry. For some reason, it seems as if as the years go by, the video game industry and the movie industry start having the same exact problems, but it wasn't like that before. They were very divorced from each other. Like, yes, entertainment as a whole is meant to entertain people. But back in the 80s, despite video games going to shit and nobody giving a fuck about them for some time, movies have always been up top. Hey, have you seen Terminator? Have you seen Back to the Future? Have you seen Alien? Not, hey, have you played the E.T. on the Atari? Like, nobody gave a fuck about video games back then. But now, in the modern day, video games overtook movies for a very, very short amount of time. And now, when it comes to like big budget stuff, I'm talking about big budget, indie games, indie movies, you know, stuff you watch on your TikToks and YouTube and shit, those aren't a part of that. Those, in my opinion, indie games, AA games, and indie movies, or just like, you know, movies like Obsession in the Backrooms, those things operate more like what the landscape of things were back in the 80s, where it's just a bunch of different people having ideas and having resources to act upon those ideas, whether it's a lot of resources or not that many resources. That's how life was back then. But because of how the world has changed with technology and the internet, it's made it so a titan of an industry can perform so shit but still survive. Back in the 80s, if you made something and it flopped, nigga, pack up your computer, pack up your fucking Macintosh. Yeah, pack that shit up and go home, nigga. But now you can have billions and billions of dollars and I'm saying billions, that's kind of disingenuous. My bad. You're putting millions and millions of dollars into projects, and those projects have no ROI. But because the company just produces so much money in other aspects, you're allowed to be there and keep making the same fucking garbage. Which is why the video game crash of 1983 is now being mirrored in the AAA industry in 2026, because indie games are fine. AA Pocket Pair. You know, the nigga who made Stardew Valley, Notch from Notch from Minecraft. He's been a bad boy. He's been up to some shit. I'm not even gonna get into that. But nigga got money. Where was I going with this? Yeah, those people are doing good. The AAA industry, they're having the crash. But you see, us consumers, we're eating it good. And something I wanted to point out is the whole Nintendo and Sega thing back in the The early 90s when they were competitors and then Sega just quietly just like fucking itself then just started making games for everybody. I am of the belief that Sony might go that exact route. Either Sony or Microsoft, one of the two. Well, for Microsoft, it makes more sense to go that route because like nigga, half of the shit that you could, no, not even half. Almost every single game that comes out on the Xbox can be played on PC. You don't really need to buy an Xbox if you already own a PC. Let's be honest. If tomorrow Microsoft Xbox announces that they're not going to make any more consoles, they're going to focus on just making games that people like. I mean, y'all got Bethesda, y'all got Obsidian. We're finally getting a Fallout game. Hopefully, it's not fucking dog shit. Hopefully, it's not 76. You know. Hopefully, we get Elder Scrolls 6. You know that the reveal trailer came out back in 2018 or 2020. Damn, I'm getting old. The reveal trailer came out when I was still in high school. I have now graduated college. 2 years ago. Where's the fucking game? Like, y'all are going band for Rockstar, but at least we got GTA 6 coming out soon, which, you know, I still have yet to pre-order it. Well, I'll just have to see how. I'm definitely gonna get it closer to the date, just so I can get the preload, pre-order, whatever the hell. Play the game 3 days early, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Rockstar is fucking greedy. But it's the fact that I believe Sony, since Sony's already in the mindset of we're not making any more physical discs anymore, how about you stop making consoles, my nigga? Just stop making consoles. Go the route of Sega. Remember? Sega is what Nintendo, or Sega does what Nintendo don't. Yeah, Sony does what Nintendo don't either. Because despite the Nintendo Switch or Switch 2 or just Nintendo consoles in general being less powerful than their counters or, well, what's the word? I was going to say predecessors, but it's not predecessors. They're not as strong as their competitors. They still make games that people play and enjoy. Sony, there's like 6 fucking PlayStation 5 exclusives. I don't regret buying my PS5. I did cancel my PlayStation Plus subscription a couple months ago, like 3 months ago, because I was just like, why am I paying for this shit? I'm literally not playing anything on my PlayStation. I'm just waiting for GTA 6 to come out. And that's exactly what it is. My PlayStation 5 is my GTA 6 machine. That's all it's gonna be. I got the Elgato capture card so I can still play it on my computer, just with a PS5 controller and no keyboard and mouse controls. Simple as that. PlayStation 5 is just GTA 6 machine at this point. But yeah, and Sony should just try to pivot and stop making consoles. You know, they're already expensive. Just make software. Make software for, oh, what console are you gonna make the software for? Oh, make it for the PS5. Yeah, how about you just stay on the PS5 generation and just make more fucking games for it for like another 5 years? How about that? Xbox, you too. Instead of making another console, how about you focus on making games? And then once you're good at making games again, then make another console. But you know, they need to release a product. They need to release a product. Why don't you just release more games that people will buy instead of making another? Like, nobody's spending $1,200. Nobody's gonna spend $1,200 on a fucking PlayStation. At that point, just buy a gaming PC. I'm being so dead ass. If the PlayStation 6 costs more than if the PlayStation 6 launch price is more than $600, don't buy that shit. Simple as that. Don't buy that shit. Just get a gaming PC, because everything that's gonna come out on the and even they're gonna make games specifically for the PlayStation to encourage you to buy it, unless it's GTA 6, which it's already on PS5, bro. It's already on PS5. There is literally nothing else coming out that would warrant you buying the new PlayStation 6. Just, if you already have a PS5, get GTA 6. I guarantee Kingdom Hearts 4, if they make that a PlayStation exclusive, I have no opinion on Kingdom Hearts 4. I haven't even finished the Kingdom Hearts games. I haven't even finished the first one.
What the fuck?
Maybe I should go back to it on stream. Anyways, I don't know what this video was. My back's starting to hurt. That's the sign for me to get up off this chair. I hurt my tailbone a little bit. But yeah, in short, the video game crash of 1983 was a major event that happened in the past. And because a lot of people forgot what happened in our past, it's starting to repeat itself, because we went from a bunch of random people making a bunch of random shit that nobody plays to well-known people just spending too much time on shit nobody wants to play. And the movie industry is kind of in the same boat, where it's doing that shit by making things based on those making it and not based on the people who are going to play it. Because I can guarantee you, the overwhelming gaming population is not asking for these gay Batiman games.
Me bamba!
Sometimes I find them funny. Sometimes I find them fun to play. only Life is Strange and Lost Records are the only Batman games I like. Any other game outside of those two series, stop. I want to play a game that makes me feel like big strong man, makes me feel like superhero, makes me, same thing with movies. I want to watch a movie that makes me want to pretend to be the big strong man on the screen. But if you keep making shit about like bro, not even to be disrespectful, the girl power shit, not even girls give a fuck about that shit anymore. It's like, oh yeah, I'm a girl, I can do whatever I want. It's like, bitch, I already know that. Now, can you make a movie that's actually good? Like, you don't need to make a movie to tell me that. All right, stop. It's fucking annoying. It's really fucking annoying to keep trying to send the same fucking message over and over again that nobody is responding to because we already know. Yes, thank you, Supergirl. All right, anyways, peace. Be good people, and I don't know. Read a book. Read Homer's The Odyssey, the original one, not the 20 whatever the fucking 18 teen one. Okay, bye.